In this video, I'm going to show you how I paint plasma glow using a makeup sponge and a brush. This is a solid way to quickly get similar looking results to an airbrush. I'll walk through painting the coils and the glow around them, using a couple of Mark III Dark Angels with different poses, so you can see how I adjust things based on where the light would hit. It's quick, consistent, and works well on black armor, especially if you're batch painting or just don't want to overthink OSL. So let's put this makeup sponge to its real purpose, painting miniatures. So the way I approach this is by imagining a sphere of light radiating outwards from the plasma coils. Think of the coils as the center of this sphere, with the brightest glow closest to them. As the light travels away from the coils, it gradually gets dimmer. It starts as a really vibrant bright blue right at the coils and gently fades into a darker blue as it moves further out. This visualization helps guide how I'll place the colors. For this Marine holding the plasma gun close to his chest, that area will obviously catch a lot of light. I've removed the gun for now, just to make painting the chest area easier later on. To start, I base coat the plasma coils white. This will act as the light source and help the blue glow appear brighter later. I'm using bold titanium white thinned with water. Once both plasma coils are painted white, I'll start sponging on some deep blue. I've got a slightly damp sponge, just a tiny bit of water, and I'm picking up deep blue paint, removing most of it onto a tissue, similar to dry brushing. With minimal paint on the sponge, it takes a bit of pressure to transfer paint, giving me more control. I lightly dab this onto the raised parts of the coils, leaving white in the recesses where the glow would naturally be brighter. I'll also roughly sponge around the coils onto the surrounding armor areas. The deep blue marks the outer boundary of the OSL where the light is further from the source. I repeat this step for the other plasma gun, again using very light pressure. I'll now dry fit the plasma gun to quickly see which areas need more brightness. I sponged a bit more blue around the chest and surrounding armor. Do another quick dry fit and add more paint if necessary. Next, I'm going to use Ducat Blue for the brightest parts of the glow. The dropper bottle here is just water with a few drops of Flow Aid. I'll use this to thin the paint. If you don't have Flow Aid, water on its own will also work. I'm thinning it down quite a bit, aiming for a transparent consistency like a glaze, but instead of glazing it on, I'll apply it as a wash, letting it flow naturally into the coils to create that bright inner glow effect. Now to tighten up the glow, I'll grab some black paint to match the Marine's original base color. Again, I clean the sponge, keep it slightly damp, and remove most of the black paint so I have good control. Previously I expanded the glow outwards. Now I'll sponge black from the outside going inwards, narrowing the glow back towards the coils. This step makes the glow look more believable instead of a fat blue blob. This next step really sells the effect. I'll use a brush with Ducat Blue to add some key edge highlights. I'm placing highlights on edges pointing towards the light source. Sometimes I exaggerate this to draw attention even on areas that might realistically be shadowed. It doesn't need to be perfect. Exaggeration is effective and makes the mini pop. After another dry fit, I decided the chest area needs more brightness. I mixed deep blue and ducat blue at a 50-50 mix and gradually brightened the chest area. But I went a bit too far and it became oversaturated. To fix this, I used a glaze of deep blue on the outer areas to blend it, then went back in with black to tidy it up further. Unfortunately, I didn't get that part on camera. But remember, mistakes are fixable. Just use your base color and reblend as needed. Now I'm happy with the OSL effect. The marine holding the gun outward only needed a quick bit of edge highlighting to finish it off. The one with the chest glow though took a bit more work because the glow was covering a larger area and needed some tidying up to keep it looking believable. If I notice areas like the legs needing a bit more brightness, I just sponge on a touch more deep blue. Also, I can use this deep blue to darken the tops of the plasma coils further to emphasize that brightness gradient, or use a bit more of the ducat blue to brighten the recesses. As an extra step, I've glued on this pre-painted head. It's tricky to sponge here, so I'll just use a brush with thin deep blue paint on the side facing the glow, then finish with edge highlights. And that's it, plasma with glowing OSL using a sponge. Like and subscribe if you find this helpful, and a big thanks again to my Patreons, you guys are awesome. Catch you next time.